Hello, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. Today, I am giving up on this. I tried this. The fission reactor, I was gonna make it huge. I was gonna make it fast. I can't do it. I can't keep up. It's become too complicated, and we're moving on. So, what we're gonna do instead is get rid of these. Okay. Yes, if you remember last episode, we set up this huge ore process. It is a mess in here. I am so sorry. We set up all this ore processing stuff to help us duplicate all of the raw ores that we mined up, that I could have a ton of lead and osmium to build a huge reactor. And that plan just went real downhill. I sped up the speed. We now have 5 of the maximum size thermal evaporation chambers, all producing brine just so that this thing can keep up. And I think even then it's still not able to keep up all the way, but actually it's pretty good. It's pretty good now. So anyway, I also started an episode and was building this fission reactor that we built before, but didn't actually. I wanted to make a bigger one so that we were producing more nuclear waste, but this is too complicated. We need a better solution. And fortunately, there is one. Instead of using that fission reactor and trying to keep that running to produce nuclear waste, what we can do is actually produce nuclear waste with productive bees. There's a bee that produces these wasted radioactive combs, and that just produces nuclear waste right away so that we can turn that into plutonium and polonium. Much easier than having a fission reactor constantly running and worrying about the speed of this. So we're going to try setting that up today. This is going to require a fair bit of setup, but what I've done is I have one of these hyper boxes here. This is basically like a little personal dimension that you can store a lot of stuff in, all inside of this one block. And this is where we're going to keep our wasted radioactive bees, just because these need exposure to radiation in order to actually produce their honeycombs. And we don't want any of that radiation in our main base, so we're going to keep them in here. Now, to actually get the wasted radioactive bees, we need these normal radioactive bees to die to some radiation, and then that will give us a chance at getting those. So we'll have to breed both the iron bee and the Cree bee together, neither of which we have, so we may have to get up in the ranks here. I need a way to get power into the hyperbox, and there's no way to do that with just normal cables. So we're going to use something called the Flux plug. The Flux network is basically a wireless energy connector that we can set up one of these Flux plugs and then have flux points wherever we need energy, so we don't have to have big long cable lines everywhere. So I'm going to set one of these up. They are kind of weird to get though. We'll need to head down to the bedrock level, and we'll have to crush some redstone with obsidian. At least enough to get one flux block, and then we can bring that up here and crush more flux dust on those instead. So we'll need 9 pieces of that from the bedrock total, and fortunately, I have really good access to bedrock now. Somebody put this big hole in the world. So all we should need to do is toss a piece of redstone dust down, then place a piece of obsidian above that, and left click it, and wow, that is aggressive. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the recipes for these two, because I'm probably going to end up making more of them in the future. And then once we have one of these blocks, we can make a whole bunch more. Just doing the same thing. Do a whole stack at a time. Now we are able to automate this flux dust, but we need a bee to do it, and it doesn't work with mystical agriculture. So that may be something we want to set up eventually. I'm not sure if I want to do that today. We can just make stacks of flux dust at a time with all the redstone we have for now. So to set this up, we should just need to attach the flux plug to our power generation. Let's just attach it to this energy cell. Make sure our energy cell is set to be able to export that. We'll need to create a new network inside of this flux plug. So let's just create that. Guess it needs a password. It's real secure on this single player server. We'll need to go into our flux plug then and the network selection and select that there, so that will connect it. And that should be good for setting it up. Now we'll need to go inside of our hyperbox and set this up on these two. I'll explain what these blocks do in a minute. But if we just attach this to this energy cable and set it to the same network, hopefully it starts receiving some power. Yep, there we go, perfect. And we shouldn't ever have to worry about this ever again. Now we need to get to breeding. We'll need the radioactive bee, which is made by the iron bee and the Cree bee, both of which we need to get. Looks like the Cree bee, we just need to give TNT to a normal bee. Now, ever since I transferred over to this new world, I haven't had the same bee setup I did before, so I don't have any of my bees available. But what we can do is there's actually a really cool way of spawning a bee. If we set up a solium spawner, somewhere that it'll work, hopefully. And if we put 12... Yeah, there we go. If we put 12 honey essence in this, it should spawn a bee, and I need a bee cage to catch that guy. Actually, no, I don't. There he is. And we should just need to give this guy some TNT to turn it into a creeper bee. We'll catch him with a bee cage. And that should take care of that guy. We shouldn't need any more of those. The next one we'll need is the iron bee, which is made by the ashy mining bee and the crystalline bee. The ashy mining bee we can get by a dirt nest. We'll throw this down and then give it some honey treats to start spawning a bee. And we can keep feeding it to reduce the cooldown. Then once this guy spawns, catch him in a bee cage. Oh, that is not the one we want. We want the ashy mining bee. Get rid of this guy. Try again. Alright, second time's the charm. Ashy. Leaf cutter bee. There you are. So we can get rid of this dirt nest now. And then for the crystalline bee, we'll need to head to the nether. And I learned my lesson from before. We're gonna make a nice little hidey hole so he can't get out when he spawns. And then we'll need a quartz nest. And we're gonna feed this nether quartz instead of honey treats. And then when he spawns, catch him in a bee cage. And that should be all the bees that we need. We just need to breed them together now. So let's head into our hyper box. We're gonna move Mr. Creepy out of the way. We're gonna breed together our ashy mining bee and crystalline bee. These guys do need some flowers to be bred together. I forgot to put dirt in this, but I threw some insanium farmland in here to help this grow a little faster. So let's keep all these together. This should start working here. So once they have some flowers, they should start working, and we should be able to speed this up quite a bit. I'm not sure why we're getting the aluminum bee, though. Oh, it may just have different options, so we just need to keep doing this until we get a different bee. Is that what's happening? There we go. Okay, yeah, threw 4 speed upgrades in here, and it seems to be moving a lot faster. Looks like you need some bee cages in here. This is going to produce a child bee. And we need to put this into the baby incubator in order to turn this into an adult faster. It looks like we can also make some speed upgrades for that. Oh, and this does need some honey treats in order to incubate it too. And I've just realized I put the adult creepy into the incubator. That's not going to do anything. So now this should turn into an adult iron bee. Now we're going to take this and put it back into the breeding chamber with the creepy. And we want to actually... We don't want the uranium bee. We want the... Not the uranite bee. We want the radioactive bee. Yeah, there we go. We are going to need a couple of these radioactive bees. So I'm going to let that run for a minute while we set up the other part, which is getting some nuclear waste into the hyperbox. So I disconnected these two to stop making plutonium and polonium. So hopefully if we throw down an ender tank, throw some dye on there, this should start putting it into the ender tank. Then we could take that and put it into our hyperbox. And then this will probably need to go into its own radioactive barrel. So let's connect that. And I forgot you have to input this through the top. Jeez. There we go. Set this to extract, hopefully, with the right configuration. This should start putting some nuclear waste into this barrel, and that's actually all we needed to do. Now we have nuclear waste in here. We have our radioactive bee. Throw that in the incubator, and we're gonna probably need our hazmat suit for this, because we're gonna do something a little dangerous. And once this guy spawns, honk him down. Then if we break this barrel, it should start leaking some radiation into the world, which is going to start killing this bee. Sorry, bud. You're gonna come back in a minute. Hopefully. Okay, update. He did not come back. and I am dying. Oh, just because I can't fall. I'm not wearing my normal suit. Okay, we should be fine in here with all the radiation since we have our hazmat suit on, and this shouldn't leak out into the normal world. So basically, all I'm waiting on now is more roses to try breeding these guys together. Yeah, I went out and collected a whole bunch more flowers so that we could do this faster. Okay, I've already got one radioactive bee, and this guy is cooking up. I just have to keep an eye on... Oh, I need more bee cages. There we go. And then hopefully we can get pretty lucky and turn a couple of these guys into wasted radioactive bees. So let's try this again. Let's toss this guy down and he should start dying to the radiation. And then we'll see if he becomes... No. Unlucky. Man, 3 for 3. We are not doing so good here. Man, this guy is still not spawning. I swear I'm like 5 bees in. I think it worked. I think that guy just died. Yes, come here. Let me trap you. Actually, he should be good now. I should just be able to let him go into his beehive here. And he should... Hopefully. Well, I'll just let him do his thing, and hopefully he goes into the beehive eventually. Alright, number 2. Nope. Wait. Finally! I think that's the other one. Yes! Get down here! Get rid of these guys. These fools. These can stop. This can go too. Now I just need these guys to both come out of here so I can breed them together. So if I remember, you can whack these guys out of their hive with a stick. And hopefully you shouldn't be mad at me because I'm on peaceful. And let's breed these guys together. Come down here. Why do you want to hang out up there? Come down. There you go. You want my flower. Now you guys should make a baby. Hopefully. You guys make a baby. The other option is that we just bring this back. And... put these back in there. And grab these 2 guys. Hopefully they should come to me if I have a flower. Yoink. Are you gonna fall for the same trap? You are. Wink. Then we should be able to breed these guys together. And I guess if we're feeling crazy, we can keep the baby incubator to let these guys speed up their little growth. This last wasted radioactive bee should be the last one I need. I've got 15 of these guys now, 5 in each beehive. 2 of these are going to be producing the nuclear waste that we're going to turn into polonium and plutonium. And then the other one is going to use that nuclear waste and it's going to break it into this box like continuously so that these guys can keep producing their combs. So I'm sort of waiting on these guys to produce something, but when they do, it's going to be a wasted radioactive comb. It's going to go into this drawer here that has a puller and pusher upgrade. So that it pulls from the beehive, and then it's going to push it into this chemical oxidizer. Hopefully. I don't know where it just went. Oh, okay, so it did work. It did turn this into nuclear waste through the chemical oxidizer. And that guy is going to need some power too. I don't know why I put it all the way over here. Just below this, to break this waste barrel over and over again, we have a modular router with both a breaker upgrade and a placer upgrade. And then in here, these are both set to the front of the router so that it breaks the waste barrel and then places it right again. So that anytime this has nuclear waste in it, it will get broken. Then that will get leaked into the world, into this little box. These guys can produce their combs. And then these all have productivity upgrades in them to help them produce the combs faster. Now all that's left is to get our normal combs into our world. The hybrid box requires you to have an inventory connected to where you want to output your items. And then we can go here and attach an item pipe and make sure this is exporting all of our honeycombs into this new drawer here. And then in this drawer, I'm going to throw a pusher upgrade that's going to push all those combs into another, not this one. We want the oxidizer, which should turn that into nuclear waste. We're then going to output this nuclear waste into the isotopic centrifuge and the solar neutron activator. I had to make new one of these because the other ones were full. But we should just be able to pipe this out and have it go into here and here. Is there a way to put this to round robin? I don't think so, because I want it to go to both of these. Okay, let's swap these out for these gas pipes. And then hopefully in here with this upgrade, we need the next here. Okay, improved pipe upgrade. Throw that in there. Set this to round robin. And then it should equally go to both of these. We want to make sure that we chunk load this too. Hello there, Future Me here, with lots of bees. I just wanted to put an end to this episode here once we get all the bees set up so that we can use this nuclear waste and turn it into antimatter in the next episode. I just wanted to split this into 2 parts because it felt like a crazy amount happened in one video. So yeah, a little sneak peek of what goes down. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you very shortly in the next one. Goodbye.